Look at ancient Egypt over 3,000 years ago. Its wealth, its military, and its entire existence drew from one single source, the Nile River. That constant water supply gave them the power to build a civilization on a massive scale. Decades of surplus wealth and labor produced monuments that dwarfed anything else on Earth. But driving a significant portion of that labor was a captive workforce, an enslaved population demanding their freedom. In response to this demand, the ruler of this superpower refused to negotiate. He chose to maintain his absolute authority over the captives, regardless of the consequences. Breaking an empire that wealthy, led by a ruler that stubborn, required more than a single battle. It required a calculated, step-by-step siege. The campaign began with a strike on the empire's lifeblood, turning the river to blood. The initial blow immediately neutralized the region's drinking supply. Then the attack moved inward. Swarms of frogs drove the conflict away from the riverbanks and directly into the private bedrooms and kitchens of the citizens. Following that, massive clouds of gnats and flies created a breakdown in public health, making basic sanitation impossible. While the water, frogs, and insects effectively paralyzed daily life, they left the empire's primary assets, its livestock and crops, largely untouched. This initial phase functioned as a psychological and social disruption, signaling a final chance to yield before the damage became permanent. The pharaoh's stance did not change. Because social disruptions failed to force a surrender, the tactics shifted from nuisance to active destruction. The fifth strike wiped out the empire's livestock, delivering a massive blow to the ancient economy. This causal loop diagram maps out the immediate chain reaction. The loss of beasts of burden meant transport stopped, trade lines were severed, and heavy agricultural labor ground to a halt. Then came the boils. The siege moved past destroying external property and started inflicting physical agony directly onto the population. By attacking both the economy and the citizens' bodies, the campaign hollowed out the nation's core stability. The ruler was visibly failing to protect his people. Next, a sudden aerial bombardment shattered the physical infrastructure. Heavy hailstones smashed directly into lush, cultivated crop fields, reducing them to bare dirt. This instantly wiped out the immediate harvest, triggering a nationwide food crisis. Whatever the ice failed to crush, the eighth strike finished off. A massive locust swarm swept across the land, functioning like a biological weapon. They consumed every surviving piece of vegetation, stripping away future food security. The empire was now a shell, stripped of its food, of its labor, and its trade. With the nation in ruins and the palace still refusing to yield, the pressure had to shift from the material world to the psychological. With the physical economy destroyed, the campaign targeted the mind. A heavy, suffocating darkness covered the land for 3 days. This total sensory deprivation triggered widespread psychological panic, breaking the spirit of the population. To permanently break the ruler's will, the final blow targeted his legacy. The death of the firstborn children served as the fatal strike, severing the future lineage of the Egyptian leadership. This profound existential loss achieved what 9 physical attacks could not. The pharaoh's resistance completely collapsed. The captive population walked away, leaving behind a broken superpower. These 10 events operated as a methodical, deliberately escalating campaign of ruin. The sequence was etched into ancient history, serving as a warning to future kings. The record of these 10 plagues serves as a case study in systemic failure. It demonstrates that when a leader prioritizes their own authority over the survival of their people, the eventual cost is the total dissolution of the state.